Jordan Wexler's fingers hovered over his keyboard, frozen in midair, as the holographic message flickered before his eyes. The alien script morphed into English, its contents burning into his retinas. Arkan is dead. You are his heir. Come to Proxima B immediately. Jordan blinked, his mind reeling. Arkan, his extraterrestrial pen pal of 5 years, dead? And he, a simple New York programmer, was the heir? It had to be a joke, but as days passed and more messages arrived, each authenticated by codes only he and Arkan knew, reality sank in. This was happening. 2 weeks later, Jordan found himself aboard an interstellar transport, hurtling through the void toward Proxima Centauri. The journey passed in a blur of cryosleep and brief, bewildering moments of consciousness. As the ship began its descent to Proxima B, Jordan pressed his face against the viewport. The alien world loomed before him, a tapestry of deep purples and swirling silver clouds. His heart raced. This was real. This was happening. The ship touched down with a gentle thud. Jordan swallowed hard, adjusting his Earth-style suit. A poor fit for the alien atmosphere, but the best he could manage on short notice. The airlock hissed open, and he stepped onto alien soil for the first time. A small, welcoming party awaited him. 2 figures stood out immediately, their alien beauty taking his breath away. One, tall and lithe with shimmering blue skin, regarded him with piercing silver eyes. The other, shorter with iridescent scales and graceful tendrils framing her face, offered a warm smile that set him at ease. "Welcome, Jordan Wexler," the taller one said, her voice melodious yet tinged with an otherworldly resonance. "I am Zara, first wife of Arkan." "And I am Lina," the other added, her tone softer, almost musical, "second wife of Arkan and now, along with my sister wife, your inheritance." Jordan's jaw dropped. What? Wives? Arkan never mentioned. Zara's eyes flashed. "There is much Arkan did not tell you, it seems. Come, we have much to discuss." They led him to a sleek vehicle that hovered silently above the ground. As they sped toward the city, Jordan's mind whirled with questions. The landscape outside was alien yet hauntingly beautiful, all twisting spires and floating gardens. "I don't understand," Jordan finally managed. "Why would Arkan leave everything to me? We were friends, sure, but this is insane." Lina placed a gentle hand on his arm, sending an electric tingle through his body. "Arkan saw something in you, Jordan. Something special. He believed you could bridge our worlds." "But why me?" Jordan insisted. "I'm just a programmer. I don't know anything about your world, your customs. I can't even breathe your air without help." Zara's gaze pierced him. "Perhaps that is precisely why, a fresh perspective, untainted by our complexities." The vehicle slowed, approaching a towering structure that seemed to defy gravity. Crystalline spires twisted upwards, connected by gossamer bridges that sparkled in the alien sunlight. "Welcome to your new home," Lina said softly. Jordan stepped out, craning his neck to take in the full scope of the building. "This is mine." "Ours," Zara corrected, a hint of challenge in her voice. "Remember, we are part of your inheritance as well." Jordan flushed, unsure how to respond. "Look, about that on Earth, we don't exactly." "We are aware of Earth customs," Lina interjected gently. "But you are no longer on Earth, Jordan Wexler. Here, you must learn new ways." They entered the building, and Jordan gasped. The interior was a marvel of alien architecture and technology. Holographic displays flickered to life as they passed, showing data streams he couldn't begin to comprehend. This was Arkan's primary residence, Zara explained, and his main research facility. The work he was doing here, it could change everything. "Research?" Jordan asked. "What kind of research?" Lina and Zara exchanged a glance. "That," Lina said carefully, "is a conversation for another time. For now, you must rest. The journey has been long, and there is much to absorb." They showed him to a spacious room with a view that took in the alien cityscape. Jordan sank onto a bed that seemed to mold itself to his body. His heart began to race as the realization hit him. This was not just an inheritance. This was integration, becoming part of their world in the most intimate way possible. That night, in the soft glow of alien lamps, Zara and Lina introduced him to their customs of closeness. Their bodies were like works of art, each curve and line a testament to their grace and beauty. Zara and Lina embodied the ideal of beauty, but there was something more about them that struck to the core. Jordan felt a mixture of awe and excitement standing before them, his heart beating in time with their breath. He knew this moment would change him forever. Zara was the first to approach, her movements graceful and confident, like a predator. Her skin glowed under the soft light of the lamps, creating the illusion that she was surrounded by a faint luminous halo. She was tall and slender, each step filled with strength and certainty. Zara touched his arm, her fingers cool and assured. A wave of excitement surged through Jordan's body at her touch. Her touch was both commanding and tender, as if she knew his every thought and desire. Lina, on the other hand, was the epitome of delicacy and gentleness. Her hair was like a cascade of silver, shimmering under the light, flowing down her back. Her eyes were violet, deeply penetrating, with something hypnotic and captivating about them. She moved closer, her movements fluid and elegant like a dancer. Her touch was soft and teasing, enveloping him in her warmth and tenderness. Together, Zara and Lina guided Jordan through a ritual that was both overwhelming and exhilarating. Their connection was immediate, electric. They welcomed him into their world, their traditions, and their bed with an openness that left him breathless. Zara leaned in, her lips just an inch from his ear, and whispered something in her language. Her voice was melodic and hypnotic, making Jordan want to submit to her will. She ran her hands down his shoulders to his chest, her touch firm and assured. Jordan felt his body responding to her commands, his breathing quickening. Lina stood beside him, her eyes fixed on him. She slowly ran her fingers down his back, her touch soft, almost tickling. Jordan felt his skin react to her touch, covered in goosebumps. Her touches were like a gentle breeze, awakening feelings and emotions he couldn't control. Zara and Lina moved in sync, their bodies merging into one harmonious dance. Jordan felt them guiding him, their movements coordinated and confident. Zara held his hand firmly, her eyes full of determination. She led him, her touches full of strength and certainty. Lina, on the other hand, was gentle and caring, her touches light and soothing. Jordan felt his body and mind begin to merge with their world. He sensed the warmth of their bodies, their breath, their emotions. Their touches were like electric shocks, awakening new feelings and desires within him. He felt part of something great and significant. In this intimate setting, under the light of alien lamps, Jordan felt his bond with Zara and Lina growing deeper and stronger. Their bodies were the embodiment of ideal beauty and harmony. Their movements coordinated and confident. Their voices melodic and hypnotic. They were his guides into a new world. Their touches and exclamations awakened feelings within him he never knew he had. This night was filled with passion and intimacy. Each of their touches, each sigh and exclamation, left a deep imprint on his heart and soul. Jordan felt himself becoming part of their world, their culture, their traditions. Zara and Lina welcomed him with such openness and warmth that he felt desired and needed. He was ready to embrace their world, their traditions, and their love. This night marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life, one he would remember forever. Jordan felt that he was now more than just an heir. He had become part of their world, their culture, and their hearts. The next few days passed in a whirlwind of new experiences. Jordan struggled to adapt to the alien gravity, the strange food, the complex social customs that seemed to govern every interaction. Zara and Lina were patient teachers, but he could sense their frustration at times. No, Zara sighed one evening as Jordan fumbled with a piece of alien technology. You must feel the energy flow, not just manipulate it blindly. Jordan gritted his teeth. I'm trying, but none of this makes sense to me. On Earth, we don't have whatever this is. Perhaps that is your problem, Lina suggested gently. You are still thinking like an Earthling. You must open your mind to new possibilities. As the days wore on, Jordan began to notice odd occurrences, whispered conversations that stopped when he entered a room, strange signals on the communication devices he was learning to use, and always the sense that he was being watched. One night, unable to sleep, Jordan wandered the halls of his new home. He found himself in Arkan's study, a room he hadn't yet explored fully. As he ran his hand along the alien desk, something clicked, and a hidden compartment sprang open. Inside was a data crystal unlike any he'd seen before. With trembling hands, he inserted it into the nearest console. Arkan's face appeared, grave and urgent. "Jordan, if you're seeing this, then something has gone terribly wrong. I trusted you because you are an outsider, unconnected to the factions and politics of our world. But now, you must be even more cautious. There are those who would stop at nothing to seize my research for their own ends. Trust no one, not even those closest to you. The fate of two worlds may depend on your actions." Jordan's blood ran cold as Arkan's message sank in. Trust no one, not even those closest to you. The room seemed to close in around him, the alien architecture suddenly oppressive. His mind raced with possibilities. Who could he trust? Zara and Lina had been his guides, his companions, but now doubt gnawed at him. The next morning, Jordan tried to act normally as he joined Zara and Lina for breakfast. The alien food still took some getting used to, but he forced himself to eat, all the while studying their faces for any sign of deception. Zara seemed as composed and inscrutable as ever, her silver eyes giving nothing away. Lina, on the other hand, appeared concerned, her gaze flickering to him more often than usual. "Are you all right, Jordan?" Lina asked gently. "You seem troubled." Jordan hesitated, then forced a smile. "Just trying to adjust. It's a lot to take in." Zara's eyes narrowed slightly, but she said nothing, continuing to eat in silence. After breakfast, Jordan excused himself, claiming he needed to explore the city. Zara and Lina offered to accompany him, but he insisted on going alone, citing a need for solitude. Reluctantly, they agreed. As Jordan wandered the alien city, his mind kept returning to Arkan's warning. He had to find out what kind of research Arkan had been working on and why it was so important. But where to start? The city was a labyrinth of strange architecture and advanced technology, much of it beyond his comprehension. Eventually, he found his way to a public library. The alien equivalent of a librarian, a being with multiple eyes and tentacle-like appendages, greeted him. Jordan did his best to communicate his needs, relying on the translation device Arkan had left for him. After some effort, he managed to access records related to Arkan's research. What he discovered left him reeling. Arkan had been working on a groundbreaking project, an energy source that could revolutionize both Proxima B and Earth. Clean, nearly limitless power, capable of transforming entire civilizations. But such power came with risks, and there were factions on Proxima B that would do anything to control it. Jordan's hands shook as he scrolled through the data. This was bigger than he had imagined, and now he was caught in the middle of it. He needed allies, but who could he trust? As he left the library, a shadow detached itself from a nearby wall and fell in step beside him. Jordan tensed, ready to run, but the figure held up a hand in a gesture of peace. "Jordan Wexler," the figure said, voice low and calm. "I am Jarael, a friend of Arkan's. We need to talk." Jordan's instinct screamed at him to be cautious, but something in Jarael's eyes, an earnestness he couldn't fake, made him pause. "What do you want?" Jordan asked warily. "To help you," Jarael replied. "Arkan's work is vital, and there are those who would misuse it. Come with me, and I'll explain everything." Against his better judgment, Jordan followed Jarael through the twisting streets to a hidden underground facility. Inside, he was introduced to a group of rebels, all dedicated to protecting Arkan's research and ensuring it was used for the greater good. Jarael explained the situation. Zara and Lina are not what they seem. They were close to Arkan, yes, but they have their own agendas. Factions within the government, and even some criminal syndicates are vying for control of the energy source. We believe Zara and Lina might be involved, willingly or unwillingly. Jordan's heart sank. He had come to care for Zara and Lina, despite the short time he'd known them. But if what Jarael said was true, he couldn't afford to be naive. "What do I do?" he asked, feeling overwhelmed. We need your help to secure Arkan's research and prevent it from falling into the wrong hands, Jarael said. But first, you need to learn more about our world and how to navigate its complexities. For the next several days, Jordan trained with the rebels, learning about Proxima B's history, politics, and technology. He honed skills he never knew he had, guided by Jarael and the others. All the while, he kept up appearances with Zara and Lina, pretending to be the naive Earthling adjusting to a new world. One evening, as they dined together, Zara looked at him intently. "You've changed, Jordan," she said. "You're not the same man who arrived here a few weeks ago." Jordan forced a laugh. "This place has a way of doing that to people, I guess." Lina smiled, but there was a sadness in her eyes. "Just remember, we're here for you. Whatever happens, we want what's best for you." Later that night, Jordan sat alone in his room, Arkan's message replaying in his mind. He had come to Proxima B as an outsider, but now he was deeply entangled in its fate. The weight of his responsibility pressed down on him, but he knew he couldn't turn back. He had to honor Arkan's trust and protect the research that could change everything. The final confrontation came sooner than he expected. One night, alarms blared throughout the city, and Jarael rushed into his room. "It's time," he said urgently. "They're making their move." Jordan followed Jarael through the chaos, heart pounding. They reached Arkan's research facility, now under siege by forces loyal to various factions. Amid the chaos, Zara and Lina appeared, their expressions a mix of determination and regret. "You have to trust us, Jordan," Zara pleaded. "We're trying to protect Arkan's legacy." "Trust?" Jordan echoed bitterly. "Arkan warned me about you. How can I trust anything you say?" Lina stepped forward, eyes wide with sincerity. "Please, Jordan. We may have our differences, but we both want to keep this research out of the wrong hands. Work with us." Jordan hesitated, then nodded. "Fine. But one wrong move, and this alliance is over." Together, they fought their way to the core of the facility, where Arkan's research was stored. As they secured the data, a powerful figure emerged from the shadows, a faction leader bent on seizing the research for his own gain. "You've made a grave mistake," the leader sneered. "Hand over the data, or face the consequences." Jordan stood firm, flanked by Zara, Lina, and Jarael. "Not a chance," he said. "This research belongs to everyone, not just one faction." A fierce battle ensued, but in the end, Jordan's group emerged victorious. The leader was captured, and the research was secured. As the dust settled, Jordan looked at Zara and Lina, their faces etched with relief and exhaustion. "Maybe I misjudged you," Jordan admitted. "But we have a lot to discuss." Zara nodded. "Agreed. This is just the beginning." In the weeks that followed, Jordan worked with Zara, Lina, and Jarael to ensure Arkan's research was used for the benefit of all. He became a bridge between Earth and Proxima B, his unique perspective invaluable in navigating the complexities of both worlds. And as he stood on a balcony overlooking the alien city, Jordan knew that his journey was far from over. He had found a new home, new allies, and a new purpose. Arkan's legacy was safe, and with it, the hope for a brighter future for both Earth and Proxima B. The bustling city below Jordan seemed both familiar and alien, a place where he had found purpose amid the chaos. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the strange architecture, he felt a sense of determination settle over him. The hard-won victory over the faction leader had only been a temporary reprieve. There were still many challenges ahead. Over the next few months, Jordan immersed himself in the intricate politics of Proxima B. He became a liaison between Earth and Proxima B, working closely with Zara, Lina, and Jarael to ensure that Arkan's research was developed and distributed responsibly. They faced constant opposition from those who sought to exploit the technology for personal gain, but their resolve never wavered. One evening, as Jordan was working late in the research facility, Zara approached him. Her usual composed demeanor was replaced by a rare look of vulnerability. "Jordan, there's something I need to tell you," she said quietly. "Something important." He looked up from his work, intrigued and slightly apprehensive. "What is it, Zara?" She took a deep breath, her silver eyes reflecting the dim light. Arkan was more than just a mentor to me. He was my father." Jordan was taken aback. He had never suspected this. Why didn't you tell me before? Because I didn't want it to cloud your judgment, Zara explained. I needed you to trust me based on my actions, not my relationship with Arkan. Jordan nodded slowly, understanding her reasoning. That must have been hard for you, keeping that a secret. It was, Zara admitted. But now you know why his legacy means so much to me. I can't let his life's work be used for anything other than the greater good. Jordan reached out and placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. We'll make sure of it, Zara. Together. The following day, they received news of a new threat. A powerful coalition of factions, discontent with their recent defeat, had formed and was planning a large-scale attack on the research facility. Jordan, Zara, Lina, and Jarael gathered their allies and prepared for the impending assault. As the city braced for battle, Jordan addressed the people of Proxima B, his voice broadcasted throughout the city. We stand at a crossroads. The decisions we make today will shape our future. Arkan's research has the power to change everything, to bring prosperity and peace. But we must protect it from those who seek to misuse it. We must stand united, for the sake of our world and for the legacy of a man who believed in a brighter future. The people rallied, their resolve strengthened by Jordan's words. When the coalition attacked, they were met with fierce resistance. The battle raged on, the city trembling under the force of the conflict. But Jordan and his allies fought with a determination born of conviction and hope. In the midst of the chaos, Jordan found himself face to face with the leader of the coalition, a formidable figure known as Kale. Kale sneered at him, contempt evident in his eyes. You think you can stop us? You, an outsider? Jordan stood tall, his voice steady. I'm not just an outsider. I'm a part of this world now, and I won't let you destroy it. Their fight was intense, a clash of wills and strength. But Jordan's training and newfound skills gave him an edge. With a final, decisive move, he disarmed Kale and subdued him. The coalition forces, seeing their leader defeated, began to retreat. As the dust settled and the city slowly returned to normal, Jordan looked around at the faces of those who had fought alongside him. They had won another battle, but the war was far from over. Zara approached him, a rare smile on her face. You did it, Jordan. We did it. He smiled back, feeling a sense of camaraderie and belonging that he had never experienced before. We did, but there's still so much to do. And so, they continued their work, forging alliances, developing Arkan's research, and striving to create a future where both Earth and Proxima B could thrive. Jordan knew that the path ahead would be fraught with challenges, but he was ready to face them. He had found his place, his purpose, and with his friends by his side, he was determined to honor Arkan's legacy and build a better world for all. As he stood on the balcony once more, looking out over the city that had become his home, Jordan felt a sense of peace. The journey had been long and difficult, but it was far from over. And for the first time in a long while, he felt truly hopeful about the future.